श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम् परित्यज्य मौनं वठादस्थितिं च व्रजन् भारतस्य प्रदेशात् प्रदेशम् मरुस्यन्ति वाचा जनान् धर्ममार्गेण यन् श्रीजयेन्द्रो गुरुर्भाति चित्ते नमामः शङ्करान् वाक्यविजयेन्द्र सरस्वतीं श्रीगुरुं शिष्टमार्गानुनेतारं सन्मतिप्रदम् ॐ तद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Welcome to another session of Dharma Moolam. Today, we are going to see an important festival, an important puja that happens in Shiva temple called as Annabhishekam. So that is what we are going to see today. In our Sanatana Dharma, the time is divided into several subunits, and all of those divisions are based on the celestial movements of sun, moon relative to earth, or the movement of earth relative to sun and moon. The divisions of time in our Sanatana Dharma is not random. In the Gregorian calendar that we follow, time is divided very randomly. Why is January the first month of the year? Why should January have 31 days while February only has 28 days? And why should February get one more day on leap year? Why should March has 31 days while April has 30 days? Nobody knows the answer. It has got some historical reasons to it, but there is no logical reason. If all the records of time is deleted today, of the Gregorian calendar is deleted today, people coming 200 years later, they just cannot recreate the Gregorian calendar because it is just random. The names of the months is random. Why should January be the first month is random? Why should January have 31 days is random? Everything is random in Gregorian calendar. But in our Sanatana Dharma, everything has got a meaning behind it. Why should we celebrate Chitra month as the first month in a year? There is an astronomical reason behind it. Even if all the life forms, even if all the knowledge that we have ceases to exist for one reason or the other, after 100 years, if somebody comes, they can easily recreate a calendar. They can easily recreate the calendar that we follow in Sanatana Dharma. 12 months corresponds to 12 Rashis. And the name of the month is based on that constellation in which sun is present, which can be easily verifiable. If somebody follows solar calendar, Suryamana calendar, the nakshatra, the Rashi in which sun is present, it is the name of that month. Neshamasam means the sun is present in Mesha Rasi, which we can verify with our naked eyes. Or if somebody follows the Chandramana calendar, then the name of that month is based upon the nakshatra in which moon is present on the Paurnami day, which again we can verify it. Just go out of your house on Paurnami day. You can easily find the moon in that Paurnami day. And if you know a little bit of astronomy, if you can find a pattern, you can actually see the constellation, the nakshatram in which moon is present. And that is the name of that month, simple. And what is the length of a month? Simple. For people who follow Suryamana calendar, a month, Mesha month, Chitrai Abnigrome, the actual name of that month is Mesha. The Mesha month is present as long as the sun is present in Mesha Rasi. As long as the sun is present in Rishabha Rasi, it is the next month, Rishabha month. There is no need for adjustment here and there in our Sanatana Dharma. And depending upon the climatic conditions, that is prevalent in that month, we celebrate a lot of festivals. And right from the food we eat, right from the things that we use for the celebration, everything has got a medicinal value. We take neem flower during the New Year day. Nimbha kusuma bhakshanam. New Year day, Tamil Varsha Parappu or Vishu Punyakalam. Depending different states, they follow it on different ways. But we have that practice of eating neem, the neem flower, which will be a little bit bitter. Why do we eat neem flower on that time? If we see, only in that time you can get neem flower. All the other time, the neem, as the season progresses, the life cycle of the neem tree will vary. So you will get a lot of neem flower at that time. And that is the time where you will have, because it will be a lot of sun, right? So in order to protect you from the diseases of summer, you eat neem leaves, neem flower. You eat raw mango on that day. Like that, whatever we follow on that month, traditionally, it has got a medicinal value. It has got a spiritual value. It has got a psychological value. Like that, our Shastra prescribes how do you worship Bhagavan depending upon which month. The method of worshipping Bhagavan also varies. I'm talking about the Visesha Pujas or Naimittika Pujas. Nitya Puja, it will not change. Nitya Puja is the puja that we do daily in temple. That will not change. But there is another puja called as Naimittika Puja. And that Naimittika Puja is celebrated based on a nimittam. Nimittam, because it is followed with a nimittam, the puja itself is called as Naimittika Puja. And Paurnami is one of very special days. Parva Kalam, Amavasya, Paurnami is Parva Kalam. Even psychologically, it will be very nice to see the full moon. Lots and lots of poems have been written on full moon. On moon. So it has got a psychological effect. And Shastra says, each month, Chitra Masattala, Paurnami Anniki, how to worship Ambal. If you take Sri Vidya text, it's very elaborate. In 1 month, it says Paurnami day, you have to worship Ambal with Malligappu. Like that, for all the 12 Paurnami days, how do you worship Ambal? Naimittika Puja. Is there any Shastric basis or traditional, literary evidence for Naimittika Puja? Somebody asked. When the proof comes from none other than Tirukkural itself. In Tirukkural, Thiruvalluvar, while talking about Malai, Van Sirappu, he says, Sirappodu Pusanai Selladu Vanam Vanam Varangadu. He says, Sirappodu Pusanai Selladu. And while writing the commentary on that Tirukkural, Parimel Azhagar, he says, Sirappu Pusanai. What are these two words? He says, Pusanai means Nitya Puja. Naimittika Puja is referred to here as Sirappu. He says, Pusanai is Nitya Puja. The puja that we do in our daily, you go to temple. When you go to temple, the people do Aru Kalam Pujai. So what are 6 Ushat Kalam? Aru Kalam Pujai. So that is called as Nitya Puja. Adada Sirappu Sanai Abdingra. Adakadaka Sirappu Abdingra. What is Sirappu? Sirappu means the Naimittika Pujai. If you see the Parimel Azhagar's urai, he says, Sirappodu Pusanai Selladu Vanam, Vazharkku Mel Vanorkum Eendu. Naimittikathodu Nityam என்றார், ஆதலில் செல்லாது என்றார். நித்தியத்தில் தாழ்வு தீரச் செய்யப்படுவது நைமித்திகம் ஆதலில் அதனை முதற் கூறினார். உண்மை சிறப்புண்மை. So he says சிறப்பு பூசனை. So சிறப்பு is naimittika puja, பூசனை is nitya puja. Thiruvalluvar refers to that in his Tirukkural. So there is even a literary evidence for following these nitya and naimittika puja from Tirukkural Sunday Lakshmi. And of those naimittika pujas, one of the very important naimittika puja that happens especially in Shiva temple is Annabhishekam. This Annabhishekam happens during the Aipasi month. The Paurnami of the Aipasi month is Annabhishekam. What is the significance of Annam? What is the significance of Parameshwara? And what is the significance of doing Annabhishekam in the month of Aipasi? How to connect all these things is what we are going to see today. Annam Brahme Divyajanad Annadhyeva Kalvimani Bhuta Nijayante Anne Najata Nijivanti Annam Prayantya Visambhishanti, says Taittiriya Upanishad. Annam Brahme Divyajanat, says here for a beginner, know Annam to be the Brahman. What is Brahman? The Upanishad defines Brahman before as Yatova imani bhuta nijayante ye najata nijivanti yat prayantyabhisambhishanti, says the Upanishad. That from which the entire universe came forth, that onto which the entire universe is supported, that on which the entire universe is supported, that onto which the entire universe goes back is Brahman, defines the Upanishad. Annam, food that we eat, all of our body comes from the food that we eat. How do you know? Stop eating food, you will lose weight. So, Yatova imani bhuta nijayante, that from which all the bhutas, all the living beings came forth, Annam. Ye najata nijivanti. Literally, the food molecules that we eat becomes our body. becomes our very physical body. If I open the carbon atoms that I have in my body comes from the food that I eat. And my entire body is supported by food. If I have Nirjala Upavasa during Ekadashi day, I feel very weak. Why? Because I don't have food. And once this body goes away, either you cremate or you bury, the body becomes food for other living beings. So the body goes back into being food. If you cremate, then the body gets combusted into carbon dioxide. Because of carbon cycle, it comes again into plant. See, now we all charted everything as carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, hydrogen cycle, water cycle. Okay, this many moles of carbon comes in, this many moles of carbon goes out. Law of conservation of mass energy. Now we talk. But Shastra talks about all these things from the beginning. Literally, the body, the atoms, the carbon atoms in the body, they have two options. If I cremate the body, then the carbon atoms goes into atmosphere as carbon dioxide. And the carbon dioxide gets incorporated into plants. And the plants are being eaten by other animals. So my body goes back into being food if I cremate. If I bury, then again, same thing happens. Microorganisms will eat my body. That is going to break down my body into carbon dioxide. Or the carbon atoms in my cells, it is going to get mixed up with the soil, and plants are going to take carbon from the soil, and the plants are going to grow on my body. So anyhow, the body goes back into being carbon. So that is why Shastra says, for a beginner, hey, don't do, if you want to do Atma Dhyanam, start from Annam. Look at your own body. My body is the closest thing that I can ever observe, right? So look at your body. Who is Brahman? Brahman is like that Annam. Annam Brahme Divyajanat. अन्नाद्येव कल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते अन्ने न जातानि जीवन्ति अन्नं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्ति says Upanishad. So Annam is very, 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 very important in our Sanatana Dharma. And the Veda themselves says how to handle Annam. Now, we take food for granted. You cook a lot, you eat very, very small. Remaining food goes into waste, right? Food waste. In the United States, United States is the #1 country that wastes a lot of food. Because people take it for granted. People don't know how much resources that goes into making the food. Shastra says, Annannanindhyat tadvratam annanna parichakshita tadvratam. Okay? Annam na parichakshita. Do not waste food. If food that we eat, if we don't like the taste, don't scold the food. Don't abuse the food. Annannanindhyat. Remember, there are millions and millions of people who cannot even afford the food that you currently have in your hand. The so-called tasteless food that you currently have in your hand, millions of people don't even have access to that food. Annanna parichakshita, annanna nindhyat, tadvratam. These are the vratams that are being told in Vedas. Vedas also says, Annam bahukurvita. Okay? Make a lot of food. By making a lot of food, you are not going to eat. You are going to give all these food to other people. Annam bahukurvita. Make a lot of food and give it to others, says Veda. etadvai mukhato onnagum radham mukhato sma annagum radhyate etadvai madhyato onnagum radham madhyato sma annagum radhyate etadva antato onnagum radham antato sma annagum radhyate. Says Taittiriya Upanishad. In Tamil, we have a saying, somebody is very fortunate, somebody is very well to do. We say, what is meant by kuduthu vechirukkravan? What kuduthu vechirukkravan? Oh, he has given. What is meant by he has given, and what relationship that has to do with this person being very well to do or very successful or very fortunate? That phrase kuduthu vechirukkravan comes from the Vedas. Veda says, etadvai mukhato onnagum radham mukato sma annagum radhyate etadvai mukato onnam radham mukato sma annam radhyate. In your previous births, if you have given annam to other people early on in your life, then in your current birth, other people will help you early on in your life. That is why we say, if I am fortunate very, very young, it means, pona janmathula nee chinna vayasula kuduthu vechirukka, adanala unakku adu thirupi varudhu. You have given it early enough in your previous lives to others. You have given it kuduthu vechirukka. That is why you can afford all these luxuries currently in this life. Etadvai madhyato onnagum radham madhyato sma annagum radhyate. Vedas cautions. Veda cautions, it says, hey, if you have begun your charity only in your mid part of your life, in your previous life, then you are going to get annam only in your mid part of your life. And it cautions you, etadva antato onnagum radham antato sma annagum radhyate. If you have done annadana only towards the later part of your life, in the previous life, in your current life as well, you are only going to get annam in your later part of your life. Nee kuduthu vekkadavan அப்படிங்கிறது சாஸ்திரம். இந்த கொடுத்து வச்சிருக்கிறவன்கிறது உபனிஷத்துல இருந்து எடுக்கப்பட்ட வாக்கியம், அன்னத்துக்காக எடுக்கப்பட்ட வாக்கியம். So that much importance Shastra gives to Annam and Annadanam. And next time, when we look at Annam, all these things should come to our mind. Veda Vratam is there, Annanna Nindyad, Annanna Parichakshita, Annam Bahugurvita, Tadvratam. All these Vratams that Veda says should come to our mind. And Shastra says, Shastra has prescribed us 40 karmas, 40 samskaras to us. Beginning from Garbhadana. The person has not even been born yet. He has not even been conceived yet. Garbhadana is the process of conceiving a baby. That itself is a samskara. Pugumsavanam, Seemantonnayanam. The baby is not yet born. The baby is still in the mother's belly. That is a samskara. And then when the baby is born, Jatakarma, Namakaranam, Annaprasanam, Chaulam. Like that, there are 40 different samskaras, Shastra says. And in the 40 different samskaras, Mahapariva talks about all these things in Devatanpura. Mahapariva lists out what are these 40 different samskaras. 19 samskaras everybody is doing. It starts from Garbhadana, Pugumsavana, Namakaranam, Annaprasanam, Seemantonayanam, Jatakaranam, Chaulam, Upanayanam, Vedavratam, marriage, it is also a samskara. So all these, it ends with Antyeshti. Antyeshti is cremation. So the samskaras begin with Garbhadanam, the conceiving of the baby, and it ends with Antyeshti. These are 19 samskaras. Apart from these 19 samskaras, there are 21 yajnams that all of us have to do. And these 21 yajnas are divided into 3 groups of 7. So 3 times 7 is 21. There are 7 Paka yajnas. There are 7 Havir yajnas. There are 7 Soma yajnas. 7 Paka yajnas. 7 Havir yajnas. 7 Soma yajnas. Only a very, 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 very small number of people, handful of people, less than 100 or just above 100 are there in India to perform these yajnas, at least one of these yajnas. And it is even very, very less number of people to have performed all the yajnas. I don't know if that person exists or not. Of these, there is an yajna called as Agrayani yajna. That Agrahani yajna has to be performed in the month of Aipasi. The month Ashwayuja month, or Aipasi month that we currently are. That yajna has to be performed in this month. Agra means first, right? Agra is first. Agra Pujai, first. What do they do in this yajna? In this yajna, remember, our country is an agriculture-based society. So whatever that we do, it is based on the rice crop cycle. And it is this time where new rice comes. Oru Pogam Thai Masam varum. Thai Pongalukku Puttarisi. There will be one new harvest of rice that happens in the month of Thai. There is another harvest that happens in this month, Aipasi. Because the Tamil New Year starts from April or May. Chitra Masandana Tamil New Year start. If the Tamil New Year starts with April, May, then Aipasi is going to be the first harvest. So there are 2 or 3 harvests in a year. Aipasi will be the first harvest. Ani, Adi, Avani, Purattasi, Aipasi. Right. So Aipasi will be the first harvest. And Shastra says, you have to do an yajna. In the yajna, you have to give an offering of the newly harvested rice in this Agrayani yajna. So Agrayani yajna, among other things, the important feature of this yajna is offering newly harvested rice onto yajna, onto the fire. These days, nobody is doing yajna, right? So, Shastras, Vidwans, they say, doing Annabhishekam to Parameshwara, it is a reminiscent of doing this Agrahani yajna. Because Annabhishekam, we offer Annam onto Parameshwara. Right? In the Agrahani yajna, we offer Annam onto fire. In Annabhishekam, we offer Annam onto Parameshwara. But there is no fire, right? Is it acceptable in Shastra? If we ask, Veda themselves says, yes, it is acceptable. The main important mantra for Parameshwara from Vedas is Shri Rudram. Right? And if we look at the Viniyogam of Shri Rudram in Yajnams, it happens during Mahagni Chitam, Mahagni Chit Yajnam. Mahagni Yajnam, Mahagni Chit. Or it is also called as Garuda Chayanam. They arrange the bricks in the form of an eagle. Depending upon, there are several variations of this method. You can make that Homakundam with 1,000 bricks. Each brick, the size and shapes, they have to be exact as prescribed in the Shastra. So you can make bricks with 1,000. You can make that Yajna Kundam with 1,000 bricks, or 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, up to 5,000 bricks you can make, 5 layers. And Shastra says, Vedas says, when you keep the last brick, 1,000, right? So 999 bricks are already there. When you keep the last brick onto the Yajnashala, Parameshwara comes, says Shastra. And the Shastra says, you have to offer goat milk for Parameshwara. Juhuti, it says. Juhuti means you have to offer onto fire. But the fire has not yet been kindled now. You only have made the Homakunda. There is no fire yet. But Shastra says you have to offer goat milk onto fire. Where is the fire? So the Vinyoga is, they do Abhishekam of goat milk on the last brick. So if we see the Yajna, by chanting Rudram, they chant Shri Rudram. That is the proper Vinyoga for Shri Rudram. You take goat milk, you pour goat milk onto the last brick by chanting Shri Rudram. So here the Shastra is showing us, hey, when I say offer it onto fire, literal fire need not be there. There is no need for literal fire. Parameshwara is fire Swarupi. Parameshwara is Agni Swarupam. That is why on the last brick, Parameshwara is there. You do Abhishekam with goat milk by chanting Rudram. From that only, when we chant Rudram, when we do Abhishekam to Parameshwara, we chant Rudram. It is the reminiscent of an Yajna Karma. Why Parameshwara is called as Agni? How do you know? Next question comes, right? We can easily infer. There are several ways. There are several Vakyams that says Parameshwara is Yajna. Yajno vai Rudraha, says Shastra. Yajnaha is Rudra. Rudran is Yajnam, says Shastra. But there is an interesting way by which we can infer Parameshwara as Yajna Swarupi or Parameshwara as Agni Swarupi. I am going to tell that interesting way. After chanting Rudram, what do we chant? So Rudram is completed. What follows Rudram? What follows Rudram is Chamakam. And Rudram, it is for Parameshwara. There is no second question about it. Because Namah Shivaya cha, Parameshwara's Panchakshara mantra comes in Shri Rudra. So Rudram is for Parameshwara. But who do you ask for boons in Chamakam? Rudram is Namakam. Rudram is you offering Namaskara to Parameshwara. Chamakam is getting boons from Parameshwara. If you offer Namaskara to Parameshwara, you have to get boons from Parameshwara, right? But how does Chamakam start? Agna Vishnu Sajosha Sema. Agna Vishnu Sajosha Sema Vardhantuvan Giraha Jumnair Vaje Viragatam Vajaschame Pratavaschame. It was Agna Vishnu. And then when they do Vasudhara, they say Agna Vishnu Pyamidan Namama. Where is Parameshwara here? Vishnu, okay. But there is no Parameshwara there. They say Agni and Vishnu. So there the Vashyakara says Parameshwara is Agni Swarupa. That is why instead of naming Parameshwara, Veda says Agni. So Parameshwara is Agni Swarupa. So what have we seen up until now? Parameshwara is Agni Swarupa. Apatarana Bhastalanta Bhuvana Brahmanda Madispurat Jyotis Patikalingam Vilasat Purnenduvantamrita. Parameshwara has Jyotirlingam. Tiruvannamalai Jyotis Swarupama Parameshwaran Kaatshi Kodukkarar. இல்லையா? பரமேஸ்வரனே பொன்னார்மேனியனே புலித்தோலை கரைக்கு செத்து அப்படிங்கிறான். If you see a burning wood, if you see a burning wood, inside it will be nice red in color. Outside it is going to be white in color because of ashes. Shastra says Parameshwara is also like that. Parameshwara's Basmo Dhulita Vigraha. He is covered with ashes. You just scratch some ash and see what is his original color. He is red in color. Asauyas tambro arunaha. Asauyaha tambraha. Just like how copper. What is the color of copper? That is the color of Parameshwara, says Sri Rudra. And Parameshwara, inside he is red in color. Outside he is covered with ashes. You see a burning wood. Inside it will be glowing red in color. Outside it is covered in ashes. So these are the symbolism that says Parameshwara's Yajna Swarupa or Parameshwara's Agni Swarupa. So first point we have seen Parameshwara is Agni Swarupa. Second point we saw is during Aipasi Masa, you have to offer rice on to Agni as a part of Agrahini Yajna. Now, not a lot of people can do yajna. We don't know, we don't even know, we cannot even do a Ganapati Homam properly. How can we do these yajna? These yajnas are several days together. The Yajamana has to undergo a lot of fasting. So it is completely impossible. That is why Shastra they say, okay, even if you cannot do this yajna, what you do? Take rice and offer it on to Parameshwara. Take some cooked rice. Do Abhisheka to Parameshwara with those cooked rice. You have to take you from Rudram, the actual Vinyoga of Rudram in Yajna. It says you have to do Homa of goat's milk, but there is no fire. It says, don't worry, last stone is Parameshwara, you just do Abhisheka of goat's milk onto that brick. And it is equivalent to offering goat's milk onto fire. So same logic you have to apply. Parameshwara is there as Lingakaram and Parameshwara is Yajna Swarupam. Instead of offering rice onto Yajnam, you offer rice onto Parameshwara. So that is why we celebrate Annabhishekam. That is why Annabhishekam is a very, 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 very important festival to celebrate. Because when you do the Agrahani Yajna, what is the phalan? The phalan is that there won't be any femininity. Because all the yajnas, yajnat bhavati parjanyaha, parjanyaha yajna sambhavaha, yajnat bhavati parjanyaha. Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita, from yajna comes rain. And when there is a lot of rain, there is going to be a lot of food. And you take that food, offer to Parameshwara. It's a cycle. Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartayati. Says Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, hey Arjuna, this is a cycle. Don't interrupt that cycle. And because people did not want to interrupt this cycle, they offer annam onto Parameshwara. This is the actual food cycle. The whatever things that we study as food pyramid, food cycle, that is not the actual food cycle. The actual food cycle is doing Annabhishekam to Parameshwara. Now people will ask, okay, what does it do? I take some cooked rice, I put that, I smear that cooked rice onto a lingam. How can that bring a lot of food to people who are living? You can very well cook the rice and feed it to the poor people. That is what people ask, right? In fact, that is exactly what we do after Annabhishekam. After Annabhishekam, the annam is divided into many portions. After Annabhishekam is over, the annam is divided into different portions. And each portion is fed to different classes of entities, not only humans. Mind you, when we feed people, when we do Annadanam, we only feed it to the people. We only feed food to humans. But humans are not the only living beings in the earth, right? There are many more living beings than humans. In fact, we are outnumbered by other living beings. And after Annabhishekam, a part of the Annam is taken, and that part is given to food, is given to fishes in the river as food. If you come to the Tanjavur Jilla, Tanjavur, Kumbakonam, those districts, because that is where people still follow it to the in a very proper way. And because Tula Masam, there will be lot of water in Kaveri, there is going to be lot of fishes in Kaveri as well. So a part of rice is taken from Parameshwara after Annabhishekam, and that rice is given to fishes as food. Next part is taken, and that part is given to all the animals and birds as food. And the third part is taken, that rice is given as prasada to people. So we are not wasting any food. We are not literally also, we are not wasting any food. Spiritually also, we are not wasting any food. We are giving food to fishes, whatever the organism that lives in water. You are giving food to all the other living beings that are present in the land. And you are giving food to people as well. That is one way of explaining not wasting food. Another way is that you grow a tree, and you benefit from the tree, from its leaves, fruits, etc. Right? I take a fruit, mango tree. I take a mango fruit and I eat it. I feel very, very happy. If I have puja, I take some mango leaves and keep it in puja. It makes me very, very happy. But if I want to water the tree, where do I water the tree? I don't water the tree on the fruit. I don't water the leaves. I don't water the fruit. So who do I water? Where do I give water? I give water onto the roots. The roots, they take water and then they distribute water to leaves and fruits, right? In the same way, Parameshwara is like the root for the entire universe. The form in which water is given to the tree, the water does not reach the leaves and fruits in the same form. When you water the tree, the water disappears in the land. So there is a nashtam. Water nashtam happens. But invisibly, not visibly, but in an invisible manner, the water gets transported to leaves and fruits. We don't have to see it. We don't need to see it, but it happens. In the same way, whatever the Abhishekam that we do for Parameshwara, it might look like waste. I should not even say that word, but I'm saying for the sake of argument. Just like how you put water onto the roots of the tree, it just disappears right in front of your eyes. But the water, it goes onto the entire tree without any gap. In the same way, whatever Nevedhyam that we do to Parameshwara, whatever Abhishekam that we do to Parameshwara, it looks like it just disappears, but it does not disappear. Maybe in a visible manner it disappears, but just like how the water in an invisible manner reaches the leaves and fruits, the food that we offer to Parameshwara, it reaches the entire universe without any gaps. That is another way of explaining Annabhishekam. There is one more way of explaining Annabhishekam. With that, I will finish today's session. That way, Prahalada is saying in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is called as Pratibimbavada. Bimba Pratibimba. I want to wear a lot of jewels, right? Or I want to put the makeup. Simply, I want to have a tilakam in my forehead. I go in front of the mirror. I can see my image in the mirror, right? I don't see my real face. I have never seen. I have only seen my face through the mirror. Now, if I want to apply tilakam onto my face, which face do I apply tilakam to? The face in the mirror or my own face? The face in the mirror, it is just a pratibimba, right? If I want to apply tilakam onto my face, if I want the tilakam to be present with me always, then I cannot apply tilakam to the pratibhimbam that I see, but I apply tilakam to the bimbam which I don't see. I have never seen my face with my eyes. Whatever I see, it is only a reflection of my face or a photograph. I can never see my face. I can see your face, but I have never seen my face. But if I want to apply tilakam to my face, I go in front of a mirror. With the help of the mirror, I apply tilakam to my face, not to the face in the mirror. The same way Prahlada says, Prahlada answers this question, why should you do puja to Bhagavan? Why should you do Nevedyam to Bhagavan? Why should you do Abhishekam to Bhagavan? He says, hey, I am not doing Abhishekam to Bhagavan who is somewhere else. Bhagavan is the original bimbam. Bhagavan is the original face. All of us are just a reflection. Chidabhasam. It is a very highest Vedantic truth that Prahlada Swami reveals in Srimad Bhagavatam. Bimba Pratibimba Vada. Whatever the human beings, whatever the living beings that are present here, they are all reflections. It is not an original image. Parameshwara is the only original image. So, if I want all the reflections to have tilakam, say I am standing here, I have 3 mirrors in front of me. I see my face in all the 3 mirrors. I want the faces in all the 3 mirrors to have tilakam means I need not apply tilakam to all the 3 mirrors. All I have to do is apply tilakam, apply kumkuma to my face, my original face, and automatically all the 3 reflections will have tilakam. In the same way, Prahlada Swami says, hey, you do Abhishekam to Parameshwara, you do Nevedhyam to Parameshwara, you do Upacharam to Parameshwara. He is the original. If he is happy, then all the other reflections will be happy. If I smile, then all the reflections are automatically going to smile. I don't need to tell a joke to the individual mirrors to make the reflection smile. All I have to do is make the original person smile. If I smile, all the reflections are going to smile. If I am satisfied, all the reflections are going to be satisfied. If Parameshwara is satisfied, who is the Bimba, who is the original image, then all the Pratibhimbam means what? Not only humans, but all the living and non-living beings, they are going to be satisfied. That is why we need to celebrate all the utsavas, especially Annabhishekam that happens in Aipasi Masam. In Tamil Nadu, there is a place called as Gangai Konda Cholapuram. And about 35 years or so, I could be wrong in the number, that lingam is huge. It is even bigger. It is just smaller than Brihadishwara's lingam, Periyapur, big temple's lingam. It is same or little bit smaller or little bit bigger than Brihadishwara's lingam. And apparently in that temple, because the lingam is so huge, they did not have resources to do Annabhishekam in that temple. And Mahapariva came to know that. And Mahapariva himself has started the Annabhishekam in Gangaikonda Cholapuram. That happens till now. So it is a tradition that is told in Vedas. It is a tradition that has got roots in Vedas. It is a tradition that has got roots in Agamas. Even if I don't see Vedas, even if I don't see Agamas, for us, Mahaperiyava has followed it. Mahaperiyava has asked us to follow it. So we just have to follow it blindly. It's not blind faith. It's not blind faith. It is confidence in Mahaperiyava. It is the confidence that a child has got in his parents. You know, if a child is there, very, very small child, the father will hold the child. And the father will play catch with the child. If at all some other person has started doing it, the child will cry. But if the child says, okay, this is my father, then the child will not cry. It is not a blind faith on his father. It is the confidence that the child has got in his father. In the same way, Mahaperiyava says something. It is not the blind faith that we have. It is the confidence that we have on Mahaperiyava. We are all his child. If Mahaperiyava says, hey, do this, no question asked, we have to do, it is going to give us Shreyas. And Mahaperiyava started this this Annabhishekam. He has restarted this Annabhishekam in Gangaikonda Cholapuram. So people who, I don't know if anybody would have time. You know, if you don't have time, at least let others know, because tomorrow is going to be Annabhishekam, Monday. If anybody has got time, they can go to temple and have the darshan of Annabhishekam in your local temple. Do volunteer for cooking annam, and you can, you know, make that as prasadam and give it to others. And for people in North India, people from Telugu background, for their Kartika Masa has already started. Kartika Somavara is very, very special for Parameshwara. For Tamil people, the Kartika Somavara happens is in the next month. The Suryamana Kartika Somavara is going to happen next month. And all the Kartika Somavara, there will be Sankabhishekam in the temples. But for Telugu people, North Indians, the Kartika Masa has already started. It started with Diwali, right after Deepavali. So now it is Kartika Masa. It is so fortunate that Annabhishekam comes on Kartika Somavara day, doubly special for Parameshwara. So people who have time, or even if you don't have time, at least make it, you know, make it a priority to visit the temple, have the darshan of Parameshwara. Main thing is try to volunteer in this Annabhishekam festival, because if you volunteer in cooking annam, it is like doing volunteering in an yajnam itself, because Annabhishekam, as I said before, it is a reminiscent of an yajnam. We cannot do yajnam right now, right? In this Kali Yuga, everybody is there. You know, we all have come so much away from the traditional system of yajnam. We cannot do yajnam possibly in this Janma. But if we participate in this Annabhishekam, it's equivalent to doing yajnam. And it will also make Mahaperiyava very, very happy. So with this, we will finish this session. We will see in next session. If some other important festival is there, then we will see in one of the other classes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavadishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om Hara Hara Namah Parvati Pate.
Namaskaram, Mama.
Namaskaram. Our next class.
Namaskaram.